Yo, 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 yo. FAB
Wow.
MORVAN, yours truly. I'm there. Introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Reagan.
I'm Christopher Mon.
And they are Dance Spirit. My homies for many years. So, I told you I was coming here tonight. I'm going to set it up over here. I'm going to bring you a little closer, guys. You know, we put the vibe on because, it's a different world. So, we don't need to have anything perfect. You know who this is right here in my 80s gear vintage flavor. Got my homies right here. And what we're going to do tonight is I'm taking you into the world of dance music. Some of you are into it, some of you are outside of it, and maybe some of you tonight after this conversation will become interested and want to be part of this new world. Music is like food. Why eat the same thing every day, y'all? Music is life. So if you feed yourself properly with all kinds of food, you will vibrate properly. Eat the right food and everything is going to be all right. You know what's good for you? Because, after a bad meal, you're like, ugh. Same thing with music. You know what I'm saying,
That's
guys?
true.
You hear something and it's not doing nothing for you. Music is there to like elevate and make you feel that good energy. I'm not saying you got to be deep all the time, but ain't nothing like a little classical music or some salsa merengue, Cuban music. There's all kinds of music for different moods. If you feel introspective, then you have all kinds. And I love my dance spirit music because it takes me in a place where they were playing me some new stuff while I was sitting there before we started this, and woo, it took me somewhere. That's wonderful. Like action equal reaction. You know that saying by me, and this is what I live for. And those guys, when I saw them perform DJ, because Dance Spirit is a DJ producer duo, right?
Yeah,
If I describe it
We
properly.
we perform live with some drum machines and MIDI controllers and all of
That good stuff. And when I saw them the first time, I was like, wow, those guys like they had flavor. That's everybody was just like in trance, just like dancing the whole time. You couldn't help but dance, and that's what they do. So Dance Spirit is in the house, Fat Morvan is in the house, and I'm trying to take you with to this place. And this is their studio, from where they work out from, and I'm gonna let them, talk about Dance Spirit. Why did you guys name yourselves Dance Spirit? Because I'm sure that's behind Dance Spirit is the philosophy of everything you're doing and living for.
Yeah, I mean, we started the project quite some time ago, maybe 7 years ago, and we've been doing it professionally since 2014. And to be honest with you, I think initially,
Closer.
oh yeah, I think initially we were just trying to come up with like a really clever name, and I'm one of these people that's always coming up with names for bands or brands or just like inventing different things. And the dance spirit thing,
Everybody here.
the dance spirit thing, that name was just really intriguing for us with the kind of style of music we were trying to write. And I think at this point, it's a art project that we've like grown into over time. At first it was just kind of like a name, but now it's who we are. And I'll let Reagan answer some of this, but at least for me, we've really tried to use music as a tool to connect with people. Most importantly, make people feel good, let people have a good time, and then hopefully through all of that as well, just because energy is frequency and we're all made up of different frequencies. So there is the hope that our music is hitting people on deeper levels, more subconscious levels, and allowing them to have their own kind of personal experience with our music, whatever, whether it's just having a good time or, it actually takes them somewhere, because there's a lot of journey, psychedelic kind of stuff going on in our music, and we always try to take people on a journey. So I don't know
Yeah.
if
No,
you-
I mean, yeah, Dance Spirit is definitely an identity that we've grown into over the last so many years of living this life. And, I think going down the road of this has taken us on paths of learning how to better ourselves and become more self-reliant human beings, and also learn how to be in service of others in the world. And our my original definition for Dance Spirit, I think, was the attainment of subconscious harmony through rhythm, timbre, and melody. So
Did you guys get that? You want to break that down for them? Break it down, my
so
brother.
basically, using music as a tool to heal the mind and body and soul, and bring yourself into coherent harmony so that you can manifest your future in a way that's beneficial to you. So, like, I've literally, been learning through trials and tribulations this path that we've set out before ourselves by undertaking this grand task of figuring out how to write music like this.
That's
So
right.
it's made both of us have to confront the darkest parts of ourselves and overcome lots of things to become the kind of people that can be there to inspire and help people in this world. Because I don't know, I that something about all of that is just really fulfilling to me, to know that I'm helping to create and share and create this experience that we all are a part of creating. That's life for on this planet. So
And that's what and the reason why Dance Spirit, Christian Reagan, and I've remained friends because we believe in the same things, and this is why I'm bringing them here to show you that those two cats who started, we've known each other for like 11 years or something like
Yeah.
that, and we never let up, because it's about, what I bring here on this channel is about the passion and the love for what you want to do. In the process of doing what you love to do, because you love what you do, when you love what you do, you will evolve. And during this evolution, because essentially it's an evolution, you're getting closer to the better version of yourself. Each book that we write, because our life is like a book or a library. I used that in the last interview that I did. Yeah, our life's like a library full of books and stories that we make up. But what I try to do, and what they, from listening to, but we've known each other, but they explaining that to you, is that, for me, I've tried to break it down a little bit, that with each book that we write, when we go to the next book, we learn from the previous book, and we become better. We understand, because the quest is self-discovery, self-improvement. When you go into self-discovery and self-improvement, and you finally or love yourself more and accept who you are, that's when you can give something to the world. And that's what you guys,
well,
I mean, they put their time, because money is one thing. Money, you can make it and lose it. Time is one of the most precious commodity, and those guys have been putting their time for the less fortunate, the homeless. And what did he say in the card? He said about the raver.
Oh,
I like that.
I came up with a little phrase. You never let a raver get dehydrated, so why would you let a homeless person get dehydrated?
Exactly.
Well,
But,
just to kind of paraphrase that, so our studio is actually in Skid Row, in downtown Los Angeles, which, you're talking about hardcore 21st century urban poverty. Like, we're basically in a third world country in one of the richest cities in the world. And we've been here for almost a year. And maybe a few months ago, I started giving water to the addicts and the people on the street. And over time, just kind of built up a rapport with these people. And over the wintertime, a lot of them were sick and they were having a hard time keeping warm. And so, I just started asking them what their needs were. And since we're dialed into a really big music community, I just kind of put out, asking for people if they could bring like granola bars and water bottles and blankets for these people, and I would give them to them. And we had such a huge influx of donations and resources and goods donated that, actually I did contact. So we work with the Women's Center of downtown Los Angeles, which is one of the shelters on San Pedro, which is essentially Skid Row. But so that's just something we started doing the last couple months. So once a month now, we open up our warehouse space and just have people come by and donate money and go around and shop, and we play music and hang out and kind of turn it into a party. And then the next day we deliver all the goods. But, the reason behind all of that, at least for me, how we've been talking about growing and unfolding and learning, is, at least for me, what I've learned the last 6 months of my own personal journey is really how to trying to live love as a lifestyle. And
Right.
when you're, and it's not easy because we're all human, but when when you're looking at the world through a lens of love and you're trying to put everyone else before yourself and you're just looking at other people, I really find no matter who it is or where they're at, you can find a need to be met. Like, the thing I've learned lately is like people are like plants, and you have to learn how to like water each plant requires a different type of care. So it's like I have one friend that it's like all we do is laugh with each other, and that's how we share love. Or I have this one friend, we do this together, and that's how we share love. And so that has a ripple effect, and you start understanding how to do that with strangers and stuff. So
You know what I do every time I thought I didn't do that, but every time I start speaking on my channel, I do this. I harness the power of love and energy, and I go and I roll it, I roll it, I roll it, and I go pow.
exactly.
That's what we're doing right there. You know what I'm saying? So I want to change the angle. That's why I changed the angle, because I really want them to see you. And I noticed that we got more light over here. So if you can change, because I really want you to see the, like we're going to see you better. So we're going to be here. And if we could place it somewhere, we're going to do this. Yeah. Because we're going in deep right there. And I love it. Meet my alumni, meet my friends, people who try to make a difference. Et voila. Oh yeah, we got some light.
There we go.
Those are the dudes. You see that? We see you clear. I want that because this is forever. Listen, y'all, this is forever. And I want some people, will watch maybe 5 minutes. Some people will watch 50 minutes. Some people will watch everything. And we're here to inspire you because it's about love. It's about love. Positive energy. And my dudes right there, everything they talk about, everything they do is in their music. And when you see them perform, I feel it. And many other people, because if you mention the name Dance Spirit in the scene of dance music, they got a lot of fans. Maybe you don't know them now, but get familiar with the familiar Dance Spirit. What else can we cover now? You want to cover something? You got something you want to? Because we're here to share.
I mean,
Get a little closer.
I've just dedicated myself to a hardcore creative lifestyle over the last 15 years. And, you know,
Get closer, my dude. I want to make sure.
oh yeah, you know,
Rigging too, like,
I've
because the light is perfect.
I've
Yes, sir.
you know
Bam.
what I've learned about pursuing the artist life is, and I think it goes for a lot of people, but I think it's especially true for artists, is you're essentially, or any entrepreneur, is you're essentially waking up to a great unknown every day, trying to create the impossible.
Sure.
And
But uncertainty is the fertile ground for creativity.
oh yeah, it really is, and I
That's
love that
beautiful,
tension, and I love
right?
that struggle.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Challenging.
at the same time, my own learning experience has been, like Reagan mentioned before, all the darkness that pops up because you are confronted with uncertainty all the time. So it's like,
Yes.
how does an individual react to uncertainty? And I failed the test for many years.
That's right. That's right. You know, and the thing is, you know, fear is such a powerful force, and fear can freeze you.
And it's
Fear is a mind killer.
subtle too,
It
right?
is,
quote,
yeah,
It comes
yeah.
in different
Quote
shades and different
from
tones.
movie.
It's not just this one
and you
like
know,
thing.
and sometimes it comes in forms of people. Yeah. As well. So be careful who you exchange energy with. That's so key. Sometimes, you know, like, and I know sometimes that people come into your life for one reason or another. I said in one of my songs, some people come into your life one summer, you know, but be happy when they leave, if they leave. But if you feel that you're off kilter and off balance, you know it's wrong. You know, the dysfunctional part of relationships you can lose time, and time is one of the most precious commodities, y'all.
Absolutely.
So I'm here to let you know, don't waste time. Use it to a maximum.
Well, I also feel like too, what I've learned is when you're experiencing a negative emotion or a negative experience in life, you can trace the whole logic and reasoning back to, like, it's either fear or ignorance that's making me act this way.
No
So
doubt. No doubt.
if you can pinpoint, it's like, okay, I'm being ignorant, so let me go learn about this and figure this out. Or if you're being fearful, it's like, well, is this fear telling me to run? Because that's a good thing sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Or is this fear telling me to confront?
That's true. That's true.
You know.
That's
so or like, you know, or
that kind of fear,
so,
you have to keep it in check, keep it there. But there's that fear, there's that fear that stops you from doing what you're supposed to do for yourself. And sometimes that thing is like, I myself, with the journey that I've taken, I feel very blessed and lucky that I've been able to kind of erase it of my vocabulary, and especially in my creative world, because of the fact that, you know, some people like to put you in a box, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't belong in the box, you know, automatically, well, what's that? What's that exactly? And I told myself, you know what? I'm just gonna be who I am. You know, and that's what I love about Dance Spirit, because from what I heard tonight, again, I saw that they've evolved and they're becoming who they're supposed to be creatively. They're not following nobody. So whatever you do in life, whether you're an architect or a mechanic or a guy that works on hot rods, you know, follow you. Be you, fam. Just be you, and you will see yourself flourish. And actually, you become an extension of who you are. So whenever you listen or look at what you've created, because, you know, I'm here tonight with some very creative people. You know, I have a small group of creative people that I'm surrounded with, and creativity is our sword. That's my sword, and with that, I combat everything through life. This is how I move. I understand that some of you are not in that creative motion, but some of the tools that we use can be used for others. So this is addressed to you as well. Okay, you're part of the conversation, and maybe something in this conversation will have you click. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to pow, 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 pow. That's what it's about.
Yeah, what you said reminded me of there's this author named Ayn Rand or Ayn Rand. I don't know how
Yeah,
people say it,
Ayn
but
Rand.
she
A
did
lot of
like
people don't like
the Fountainhead, and her philosophy is romanticism. And yeah, a lot of people I think misunderstand her, so they don't like her. But she has this really good story that it's a short story, and I always found it very motivating for me in my like dark hours of
Check it out.
uncertainty and doubt. And I can't remember the name of the story, but it's essentially like, you know, it's about a writer, and this guy, he's a short story writer, and he his biggest dream in life is to get published, right? And so he's like sitting at the table, and you're reading this, it's like, okay. And then Harry sat down, he starts writing the story. So in the story, he's like writing the story, and the story is unfolding, and you're like, this is great, like, where's this going to go? And then right as it climaxes, it's like, he like scraps it and throws it away. So, he does that like three times, and then at the end of the story, he finally throws his final story away, and he just goes and gets the wanted ads, and starts looking for a job. And I always thought that it was such a great moral, because we're like artists. I say artists are a buffer for the human experience, and so it's like, we connect to people through our life experiences, because we can express our life experiences through our medium. And so all of us have a story to tell, whether you're an accountant or a painter, like we all have our medium that we work in, numbers, whatever. And so I just think it was motivating for me, because it shows me not to give up on myself. It's like, no, we all have something good in us. Like we all have something worth sharing. We all have something worth giving. We all have something worth exploring. And I really think even Helen Keller, we're all blessed with something in this lifetime to give back to the world with, and make the world a better place.
And that's what I like here, because I use that same kind of analogy. This wave of positive, this ripple effect that we can cause by affecting people in a positive way. So maybe you are, we're on the giving end, we're giving, and you are on the receiving end. But there's a gift of giving and a gift of receiving. And when that things keeps on taking place, this ripple effect will touch more, and you will feel that positive energy. And because you feel positive energy, and it puts you in a center place, in a balanced place, you'll be more open to send more positive energies out to the world.
That, and I also think too, once you're there, and it's hard to get there. But I noticed it's just like my powers of observation just like increase exponentially. Like you can just you see people differently for what they are, whether it's good or bad. You see situations for what they are, whether good or bad, and you can just I think intuition and synchronicity start coming into play a lot more. But I think it's all about getting out of your own way, and I still get in my own way because I'm human. But Epictetus said being human is taking one step forward and two steps back. So
I'm the turtle. I'm the turtle. So I go 1, 2, 3, and I go up. I'm like on my mountain. I'm climbing my mountain. Very important.
It's
I go
a good
slow,
way to be, man.
But I go. And Regan, what do you think? Oh, you're off camera, my dude.
Oh,
I need you, dude. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's a fly by his pants.
But it's true. I mean, discovering yourself is an ongoing journey. And we have voices. Everyone has voices, right?
Yeah.
That are pulling you either left or right. But as long as they don't pull you off kilter too much, sometimes it's necessary to be pulled one way. To understand the dynamic of what you are and how you move.
Well, and to counter on that too, I think if I've learned anything, it's very important, especially with your friends or your peer group, to be as transparent as possible and to let people know what's going on, because what you come to find out is that whatever problem you're going through, someone else has gone through.
Yes.
And so when you open up and you let it out, someone's that's gone through it or is there or has been there, they can give you really good advice. And for me, it's not even so much the advice, it's just knowing that I'm not the only one that, you know, like for me, there's been points where I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? You know, and then I have a buddy who's like, you know, the like head attorney for the city of Los Angeles, you know, like 6-figure a year kind of guy or whatever, you know, and he's just like, man, he's like, I felt that way about my career. And you're like, okay, well, here's a guy who seems like he'd have it all together, you know, he has the house, the car, the job, like everything. And like, even that guy's like doubted himself. So what am I doubting myself for?
You know, we talked about one thing earlier before we started. It's like, we're talking about happiness. And to some people, when we talk about happiness and love, some people look at us like funny, like, oh my God, it's so cliche. But it ain't, everybody. It ain't. Happiness is the key. It's the key to life. It's the key to living life and to feel good. Feeling good is so necessary, you know. And if like and it's a journey to find true happiness, because some people find happiness in the wrong places, and eventually that will he will turn out to be,
you'll find out why.
yeah, you'll find out why, and you eventually have to get out of that, because it's not happiness. It's just a crutch that allows you to forget, because you're hiding away from something. So figure out what's blocking you. You know, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I've gone through hell and I came back out of the tunnel stronger. Like I said earlier, I feel like the Hulk, and I'm here to share and show you that anything is possible. And Dance Spirit as well, they've gone through their share of experiences, and you know, those guys are feeling good. And you don't know them, you're just experiencing them for the first time. But when I listen to what they create in the music they do, I'm like, yo, you know, it's like evolve, find yourself. And that's my message to you tonight. We're almost at 30 minutes. I took you somewhere else tonight. I know it's not familiar. It's a different type of conversation, but get familiar with the familiar. You know, go experiment, because the key to life is also being curious, curiosity. You know, that's what, like, it changed my life, being curious, and especially now with, you know, this at the tip of our fingers. We can be anywhere. Whatever you desire, you can go and find it. If you have any questions, you can discover it. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, there's a lot of BS out there. So you have to do your research. But that will take you down an avenue and a pathway that will lead you to evolution and discovery. And as a result, you'll gather some things and get better, evolve. That's my search. Get better, find your way. But most importantly, before you can do all that, find happiness. And happiness will open the door to Senor. Anyway, this is FAB MORVAN, sitting down with Dance Spirit. Dance Spirit in the house, downtown. And we're going to do this all together, guys, as we approach the end of this thing. Here we go, and pow, 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 pow. It was a pleasure. Listen, I don't know what I'm doing over here, but I just try different things, and it's a conversation. We're having a conversation, and continue the conversation. That's what it's about. Talks amongst yourselves. This is FAB MORVAN, yours truly with Dance Spirit. Over and out. It's not over yet. I can say not yet. I do that because I'm going to come back. No, we didn't go yet. We didn't want to say goodbye. You know, I just want to go to that 30-minute mark.
Just keep me hanging on.
That's right. That's right. So hey, don't hesitate to go check out Dance Spirit. They got a lot of music. You know, like I said, music is like food. There's all kinds. Go check it out. Okay. I'm really out this time. Here we go. Pow, 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 pow.